That's why you wear press-ons. So, as most of you know, I'm a nail tech. I see clients on a regular basis and I do their nails. But not everybody can have nails done all the time. You know what I mean? So for somebody to come to a nail tech and get a full set put on with all the design and, you know, all the hard work put into it, just for them to have to take them off 2 days later, is kind of ridiculous. For example, somebody who works in construction or like in manufacturing or something where they're using their hands a lot and having any length on their nails is impossible, and having any time put into designs on their nails is a waste of time because it's gonna come right off. What about costumes? What about if you want to go out for the night? What if you have a special event coming up or a birthday? Or just something where you want to have your nails done. That's why you wear press-ons. Now, there are a ton of amazing press-on companies out there, and I am in no way trying to step on their toes. They are doing incredible, amazing work. I will link a whole bunch below if you are looking for a press-on shop. This was an already existing client of ours who now has a job where doing nails does not make sense. For Halloween and for future events of hers, she wanted to have a pair of press-ons. So we created some. So I had her come on in for a consultation. We sized up her nails. That way I knew they would fit perfectly. And she gave me a description of what she was looking for. Actually, specifically, she said,
I like pink and black.
And then I asked, do you like glitter? And she said, oh yes, I like glitter. And I was like, all right, fine, we can work with this. Pink, black, glitter, we can work with this. I wanted to keep it no special occasion, no special date or anything. So not Halloween, not Valentine's Day, although these could be worn for Valentine's Day. But like not Halloween, not Christmas, you know, not 4th of July or Valentine's Day. I didn't want it to be for a specific holiday. I wanted her to be able to wear these anytime she wanted. I really didn't have much of an idea of what I was going to do. All I knew is I wanted to use pink foil and I wanted to use the fusion glitters from their summer collection. I wanted to use Pink Ladies and Soda Pop. Well, originally I wanted to use one or the other because both of these are so stunning. And each one individually just didn't look right with the tone of the foil, but ombre'd together, it was perfect. So I used these two glitters and ombre'd one nail on each hand for the glitters. And then because I knew I wanted to use the pink foil, I wanted them over black. I wanted it to look, you know, like splotchy, graffiti, kind of messy look. So I just did full coats of black on the nails that I wanted to have the foil on, used my transfer foil gel, and I used my ombre brush to just sort of messily sweep it across. And the ombre brush works really well because it's so thin and flimsy at the tips. You get nice sort of piecey, thin wisps of gel because of the pieciness of the brush. I feel like I'm a cat. Cured it, did everything I needed to do for that, put the transfer foil on it, still feel like a cat. Put the transfer foil on it, looks great, everything's wonderful. Decided to matte top coat it because that really gives it that, like, I don't know why it makes me think of graffiti, but it makes me think of graffiti. And it's like edgy. Makes me feel edgy. So the black nails are done, the black with the pink foil, they are done. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the rest of the nails. I wasn't sure if I wanted to like stamp a design on it or what, but I didn't want to go heavy into a theme. I didn't want to go heavy into like a season or an event, like I mentioned. So I decided, okay, I know I want these nails pink. I know I don't want them a solid color. That's what I know. After scrolling Instagram, just to like, you know, get some ideas, I decided, okay, let's do like a marble ink situation on these nails, like pink, obviously. And then maybe we'll stamp something cute over top or something, right? That's where I'm going with. So I paint all of those nails, the ones that I want the pink marbly design on. I paint all of those Moonstone from the Fusion Spring collection, the pastel collection. Super duper light pink honestly, you wouldn't even know that it was pink unless you saw it next to like a white, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's pink. I just didn't want to do a stark white because that was too much of a contrast. Painted all those, cured them, did a matte top coat on top because it is, in my opinion, a lot easier to do this technique on a matte top coat. So as I mentioned in previous videos, I don't have any alcohol inks. I just use Sharpies. Although I am kind of really starting to become intrigued with alcohol inks. But for this design, I used Sharpies. So I started off with a lighter pink, just coloring on the nail and then blending it out with alcohol, but that light pink was too light. So I went in with a darker pink, obviously. And again, I started off by just coloring on the nails, but something I have noticed, when you put down the matte top coat and then color on the nails, it is really hard to blend out those initial like color marks. Really difficult to get rid of those. After I kind of just blend that out aimlessly until I finally get rid of those marks enough, I use a little like resin palette that I got from Glitter Mix Canada. I just used one of those, colored on that with my Sharpie. Took a spray bottle full of alcohol and gave it 1 or 2 spritzes just on the palette, and voila, alcohol ink. It was much easier to work with that way than coloring it directly on the nail. Also, doing it coloring on the palette and then spraying it with alcohol, I was able to control the pigmentation of the ink. If I wanted it a lot more pigmented, I would do like a teeny little spray and mix it in. And because there was less alcohol, there was obviously more ink and therefore more pigmented. If I wanted it diluted more, just sprayed more alcohol. And then I literally just played with that using the Sharpie from the palette and alcohol mixed together as like the ink. So using the ink and then using pure alcohol to blend the colors how I wanted them to blend. And then sometimes I even used acetone to really get those sharp, almost veins in the design, because the acetone just pushes the ink out of the way as it disperses. It creates like almost a blank space, and then you get that really cool veining. So the alcohol I find best for blending the color around and just sort of moving it around, and acetone I find best for actually either removing color or getting it to spread apart, like disperse, moves everything out of the way. It's really fun to watch, in fact. So after I got the marbling exactly how I wanted it, which by the way took a lot longer than I was anticipating, but it was also really fun to do, so I'm not mad at that. So once I got it exactly how I wanted it, made sure it was completely dry, which they do generally dry pretty fast because it's alcohol, but still didn't want any smearing, so made sure it was 100% dry. And once they were 100% dry, I did a glossy top coat over top. Now, you might be thinking,
Tonja, I thought you said you were going to stamp over top.
and if you remember, I have said in the past that I like stamping on a matte surface. Well, instead of stamping on top of these nails to add some art and pizzazz, I found in my nail decal collection roses that were just the line work, black line work of roses. Now, I could have stamped those. I have plates with just the outlines of all kinds of flowers, including roses. So I could have stamped those. But as I've mentioned in past videos, I am not like superb when it comes to stamping. So because I had the nail decals, which were perfect and like all the lines connected and everything, I decided just to use those instead of potentially messing up her nails. I like putting nail stickers or decals over basically a top coat. I don't like putting them over a finished filed nail, and I don't like putting them on like a lumpy, bumpy, like glitter nail, and I don't really like putting them on a matte nail. I like putting them on either straight on to the color layer after the sticky layer has been removed, because it's kind of like a glossy layer anyway, or over a glossy top coat. Again, any sticky layers removed. The reason for this is it doesn't stick well to sticky layers. It kind of slips and slides around. So that's why you want to remove any sticky layers. I don't like adding them over a finished filed nail because you can see the file marks through the decal, considering these were clear, and even when you top coat, there's no top coat going into those grooves to smooth them out, so you still see it. Don't like that. I just don't really like putting them over a matte top coat, just for fear of the same reason as a finished filed nail, that like you might be able to see a difference through the decal, possibly. I mean, I've never experienced that with a matte, but that's just part of my fear. Also, it might just be me, but I feel like they don't stick as well to a matte surface. I feel like they stick incredibly well to a clean, glossy surface.
Oh, that's just me.
I feel like I was sliding down my chair. Jeez Louise. Okay. So once I decided that these were the decals I was going to use and I prepped the nails how I wanted them, I just put them on like randomly, really. Kind of off-centered at the top, off-centered at the bottom. A few nails had both, obviously in different directions. I just wanted it simple, but a way to sort of frame the nail, I guess, on a few nails. I also really like to smooth out those decals either with my finger. I know there are a lot of places that sell like tweezers with a silicone end, and using that to push it out is perfection. Every time I've gone to order those, they've been sold out, so I do not have them. But using your finger works wonders. Also, a makeup applicator, whether it be the eyeshadow ones or just like a silly little sponge thing, just keep it nice and taut and just rubbing it over. As long as you don't have any like pulley bits to come up, it will almost massage it and rub it right into the nail really well. And that, in my opinion, really making sure that they're pressed down nice and solid like allows for an incredibly smooth top coat over top. If you're rushing it and you're really not smoothing out, because our nails curve and sheets of sticker paper are flat, putting something flat over something curved isn't always possible. So if you're rushing it, you might get some air bubbles, you might get some ruffling, you might get some lumps and bumps in your decals, but if you just really press from the center out, just really do it, just really give it, and then top coat, you will have a nice smooth nail. There'll be no pokey edges, there will be no bubbling or ruffling, it will be perfect. Those pink marbly rose nails were I top coated with a glossy top coat. I just thought that was a nice juxtaposition with the black matte with the foils, and then the light colored nail with the marble is glossy. It just seemed cute. And those are the press-ons I made. I know this is kind of like another nail design, nail tutorial type. It's not really a tutorial, but you know what I mean, like a watch me work tutorial nail design video thing, and I had just posted one of those. I know, but if you watched that last video, the Squid Game video, and you know I have plans on doing Vlogmas this year. So for this month, I'm trying to be simple, chill, consistent content, and then December will be a goddamn shit show. I was excited. I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to come hang out with me, watch this silly little video, watch me do some silly little nails. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And you can subscribe. Sometimes I do nail art, sometimes I don't. I don't know what's going on with the world, okay? And I will see you in my next video. Bye!